And we're back. You are chatting with John P. Today, we're going to be tackling an extremely difficult topic. I'll admit, this is probably the most difficult topic that I've ever had to speak about, even outside of YouTube. It was very difficult finding these watches for you. And the topic, of course, is the best watches under $50, in my opinion. And it should be noted that all of these watches are decent quality and certainly great quality for under $50, which was so difficult. But first, I'd like to ask you to please like and subscribe. Do all that good stuff to me. Just do whatever you gotta do. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Just do not inflict any type of bodily harm. Then we have a problem. But please like and subscribe, all that stuff. Let's jump right into it. The top or the best watches under $50. Now, here's the thing. Some of these watches you have to dig around for. All of these watches, the retail price is not $50. It's much higher. But trading pre-owned and gray market and from certain online retailers, you can find them at or around, or even some of them significantly under $50 US. So full disclosure, you have to work for it. They're not just giving away free watches. Though sometimes we do give them away at delraywatch.com. We've got a couple of different promotions that we do and some giveaways. So check it out, delraywatch.com. You don't know if we might be selecting you. If you sign up for the newsletter, that is. So let's jump right into it. The first option is the Seiko 5. So it's a Seiko 5, of course, always known for their affordability. Seiko 5 Military, the SNK 805K2. So this is... it's an automatic watch. It's got a 30-meter water resistance, so it is a sports watch, but 30 meters, I mean, you're not going to be going to the depths of the Mariana Trench with this thing. But it's got a day and a date complication, and the retail price is somewhere around $200, but you can get them $70 brand new or $50 pre-owned if you go on eBay or the watch collector forums. So this watch, it ticks off all the boxes that you can really ask for it under $50. It's Seiko, so it has a name that's known for affordability and approachability and still maintaining some level of quality. It's an automatic watch, so I'll admit, if you have problems, you need to throw it away. Very honestly, it will cost you 7 or 8 times the amount that you paid for it to service it. But when we're talking about $50, we're talking about, pretty much a steak dinner at, a mid to higher mid-range restaurant. So you can't go wrong with $50 to have a watch that you really can beat up. And, if your budget allows for that, then this is an option that you just need to go for. And it's cool, right? Like, I could see myself wearing this if I was into Seiko. It's got the canvas strap, and it has that military look. I mean, it's a no-brainer. That has to be number one on my list, even though, once again, not the biggest advocate of Seiko, but we're talking about a budget here of $50, so it's on the list. So the next one, the Timex Weekender. So it's, it's a bit of an icon, though an icon not in the watch world. It's stylish, it's classic. You see people wearing this all the time, especially college students, younger guys. It's got that kind of, traveler type millennial style about it, which is attractive to some, but certainly it's a decent watch, right? Like, you can buy them at Target, you can buy them on Amazon, you can buy them anywhere. It's more of a commodity than it is a fine timepiece, but once again, the budget constraints do lead us to this option. But the Timex Weekender, it comes on a NATO strap. Usually they have a leather strap option for it. It's a quartz watch, but so it will keep very accurate and precise timekeeping. But, it's Timex. They've been around forever. Sure, it's more of a utility than a luxury item, of course, but all of them on the list are, and this is one that you just can't go wrong with. I would recommend it for this price point. I personally enjoy the styling and the whole aesthetic about it. And I know I have some friends, especially friends from back in college, that do wear these just because of the approachability of it, right? You can toss it, you can exchange it, get another one, different colors. It's more of a style piece and has some utility. So it's a cool option. Check it out. And also, you might have to get this option pre-owned or gray market to stay within that $50 price point. So the next one. Now, this one, I don't know how this particular seller is able to sell this so affordably. This one is $60, but they may be willing to accept a lower offer, and some of these do pop up once in a while. You need to go to eBay. You need to check out this picture. It's a vintage Croton watch. Now, it's automatic. It's Swiss, and it's vintage. So if you like vintage, right, this is supposed to be a vintage channel. If you like vintage watches, that whole style appeal, this one's in amazing condition, almost perfect condition. It's an automatic watch. I wouldn't expect it to keep chronometer specs. We're still talking about 50 or 60 US dollars, but to have a vintage Swiss watch that looks like that, it's really amazing in my opinion. And this does happen, especially when you go shopping on a site that is like eBay, an auction house, which is where you have to find this particular watch. But you can't go wrong. Now, Croton, sure, it's a more approachable, more affordable brand. It once upon a time was more luxury, and some of their watches that they manufactured or actually distributed are a little bit higher end, with movements like a Value 72 for a high-end chronograph, or some others, right? And there's a company called Nevada, and Nevada owns Croton, or they used to, and Croton was a distributor for Nevada products, and Nevada renamed themselves to Nevada Grenchen because Movado sounded too much like Nevada, and they did not want that type of confusion in the marketplace. So that's a little bit of history about this. It's got history. It's 60 bucks. Go out, buy that. Someone watching this video is going to buy it, and whoever the seller is for this watch, you can send the commission my way. I'm kidding. No, but really, email for the commission is in my description. Okay, Vintage Waltham. Now, Vintage Waltham is a great buy all around. You gotta buy them on eBay, maybe Chrono24, some other locations, some auction sites, or pre-owned marketplaces. But Vintage Waltham has some of the best bang for buck vintage value, and certainly watch value and horology value that you can find in the marketplace. And there's for so many reasons, but really it's a brand that's it doesn't really exist in its entirety today. I think there's some people that have licensed the name because it is a very old brand, and I think they've managed to do some things with the brands in current day, but really it was kind of left back in the 60s, maybe into the 70s, and the price really shows that. But it's great for watch people and someone looking for a nice accessory, because the watches are on par with you know, some decent mid-range vintage brands, and they have some of the movements that are in much higher end brands and models for that day and era. So you can get Vintage Walthams. The picture here is 25 US dollars on I think it's eBay, and you go on the forums, they're similar, somewhere into the hundreds, and some people try to make a little bit more on them. But I mean, for a Swiss automatic watch, or sometimes Swiss manual wind movement watch, 25 US dollars, your servicing is going to cost more than 20 times that if you need to. But if you can get away with not servicing it, you don't need to have chronometer specs. You just want the accessory, keep some pretty good time, you know, maybe reset the time once a month on it. It's not a big deal for you. $25? Get this one. Someone also watching this video is going to buy this for $25. It costs us more to ship a package to you than this watch. So check that out. That's the next on the list. And lastly, I've got one more option for you. It's a bit of a this watch almost contradicts itself in that it looks like a vintage automatic or vintage manual wind watch, but it's actually a modern quartz driven watch. It's a Bulova 96B104. Picture here. It's basically a 37mm Druss watch. It's in stainless steel. I mean, you're not going to get precious metal for $50. And this one, you have to hunt around a little bit to get it into the $50 price point. Usually, I see it selling for between $50 and $70. I think there's a wholesaler or a gray marketer selling one for $55. And it's just, it is what it is, right? Like, it's Bulova, so it has the name. It's been around for a long time. They're known for their more affordability and approachability. They're in stores like Macy's, JCPenney, and other retailers, including online retailers like Amazon and many others. And there's nothing more you can say about that other than it's going to keep good time because it's a quartz watch. It's not Swiss, of course. It's got a Japanese quartz movement. We're talking about $50, and I've said $50 so many times that I think you can probably turn this video into a drinking game, though I don't know that I condone that because you might get alcohol poisoning. I've said it so much. So nonetheless, this Bulova is a pretty cool option, and I can see this being a pretty good gift as well. By the way, all of these options on this list, whether it's a gift or maybe you want to give these to your employees, or maybe you just had the budget of $50, or maybe you want a watch that you can beat up, or you're traveling overseas and you don't want to carry around your Rolex. I mean, there's thousands of reasons that you could want to watch $50 or under, but I would say that I'm fairly confident that these are the best watches, $50 or $5 more than $50 and under, for these reasons mentioned. I mean, they're all pretty stylish, right? They're all coming from brands that are known, they're notable. It's not like you're buying something off of Alibaba or AliExpress or, you know, Ali whatever. They're all names that are almost household names, right? Like if you're in the watch community, they all exist. And what I want to know from you is, what do you think about these watches? Leave in the comments below. What do you think about the Seiko 5? I know there's a lot of guys that love Seiko 5 out there based on previous videos I've done. What about this vintage Waltham for $25? Can you believe to get an automatic Swiss watch, mechanical Swiss watch for $25? I mean, it costs more to purchase, you know, a mainspring for a watch than $25. What do you think about that? Is that a great value? Also, do you have any suggestions? Are there any suggestions that you have under $50 out there? I want to hear it because, once again, this was very difficult for me. I am typically not in this space, right? We have DelReyWatch.com, very high-end watches, but this was difficult even if you're familiar with the affordable watches a little bit more. You had to hunt for more than half of these on eBay, which is painful in and of itself. But what do you guys think about that? Leave some other suggestions for you watch geeks out there. Put in the comments. Talk about this. I want to engage and see if there are other options. I'm genuinely curious at this point. But let's leave it on that note. Thank you once again for watching. Please like and subscribe. Keep me going. It keeps me shooting out videos for you. I need to make a few more, actually. There's some pretty exciting things in the works for the channel and DelReyWatch.com, so you want to subscribe because I'm going to be talking about it in the coming weeks and some very interesting things for you guys that are thinking about maybe trading watches a little bit. So keep that in mind. Put me at the top of your inbox, and I will certainly do the same for you. You have been chatting with John P. Ciao.